hold that. I already got it recorded. So I went to the gas station because I had to go get a couple things. I've been using my turn signals. Plus, I've been doing the speed limit. There's 2 cops sitting on the side of the road. This cop has been following me for like 4 or 5 miles now. Everywhere I go, he keeps following me. So I'm gonna get out and find out what the fuck this problem is.
So we turned his lights on as soon as we pulled up here.
So I just took my seatbelt off.
Evening, sir. Deputy Rouse of the Sheriff's Office. How you doing? You got your license, registration, proof of insurance with you tonight?
What's the nature of the stop?
As soon as I know who you are, I'll be happy to explain that.
Is this Nazi Germany? Do I got to provide papers before you tell me why?
Well, if I don't know who I'm talking to, in case you run off or flee, I'd like to know who I'm talking to. So if you don't mind providing your identification, I'd be happy to go forward with you.
Well, I would take the key out if I could, but I can't.
Okay, no problem.
I would still like to know why I'm being stopped.
I'd be happy to explain that to you as soon as you provide me with identification, sir.
Are we in Nazi Germany?
No, we're not. I think you know the answer to that question.
Okay.
I don't think Nazi Germany exists anymore.
Exactly my point. Okay. You do realize in order to get ID from somebody, you have to have a reason and articulate that reason for the stop, right?
I'm well aware of how it works.
Well, you do realize I'm a constitutionalist, so I know this shit.
Okay.
So unless you can articulate, this is my property, yes.
This is your property.
Well, I don't live here, but this is my property.
This is where you're staying? Okay.
This is not where I'm staying, but I own this property.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough.
And I knew you were following me. I knew I used my turn signals. I knew I wasn't speeding. As soon as I see you on the side of the road, I see you hit your fucking brake lights. I knew you're going to fuck with me. I knew exactly what you were going to do. There's nothing wrong with my car. Every light on my car works.
Yes, sir.
So what's the nature of the stop?
Well, the nature of the stop is when you went by, it didn't look like there was a front bumper. And then as I was behind the car trying to run a registration, you took multiple turns, and it appeared to be evading me. All I'm doing is checking out what's going on in there.
You better get your goddamn supervisor.
Okay.
When is it illegal to make turns?
I didn't say it was illegal to make turns.
Dude, we both know where this is going, and you know you have no reason to pull me over.
Okay. All you need in Michigan is reasonable suspicion to make a traffic stop.
Yes, you have to have a RAS. But what is your single articulable suspicion?
It appeared you were trying to avoid police contact.
Bullshit.
It looked like you had a bumper on the front of the car when you went by.
Dude, I'm not giving ID because I didn't do nothing wrong.
Okay. Is this your car?
It's in my dad's name, yes.
It's in your dad's name?
Yep.
Okay, sir.
Dude, this is going to make an awesome YouTube video. You just admitted that I committed no crime or no traffic infraction. When the fuck is it illegal to make turns?
Well,
there is a bumper on my car.
Well, it's
Come on, man. This is bullshit. Come on. You know it's bullshit. Just leave me alone.
Okay, man.
You know this is bullshit. Just leave me the fuck alone. I'm not doing nothing.
Okay.
Right? Mm-hmm. Okay. You have a good night.
Where have I met you before?
What's your name?
Deputy Rouse. I know we've met before, man.
You do look very familiar to me.
I'm not trying to be that guy with you, man. I'm really not.
Well, that's the thing about it, you know. So, I used to live in Waterville.
Okay, we have a lot of stolen property, a lot of stuff going on. Out-of-state plates. You're making multiple turns. But would it not raise some suspicion to you if you were in my shoes?
Suspicion is neither a misdemeanor nor a felony, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
So all this is an investigative detention.
That's fine and dandy, but unless you can articulate what crime I have committed.
Okay.
Like I said, how long have you been in Watervliet for?
I've never been in Watervliet.
No, I mean, so are you Berrien or are you Van Buren?
County.
Oh, you're Van Buren.
Yes, sir.
I think my brother went off the road like 2 years ago over to by the lake by the campground. Was you the one that showed up that night?
Which campground?
It used to be Thunderbird. Over there off of 376 and Bangor Clover, or 681.
Oh, you mean where they used to have all the raves and stuff?
Yeah, it used to be called Thunderbird, where the lake and stuff is, and you got the curves right there. My brother went off the road and hit that rock.
Did he have a van that he flipped and all got wrapped up in power lines?
No, not that.
Okay,
I know you look familiar. You look extremely familiar.
We've talked before, man.
Yeah.
And I recognize you. I just can't think of. I just can't remember your name, man.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm not trying to be a dickhead or nothing, but I've
I get it.
like I said, I used to live in Watervliet, and I got fucked with constantly when I lived. That's why I came back over to Van Buren County, because I got tired of the bullshit.
Were you in the city or out in the county?
I used to live in that shitty rundown trailer park over by the lake. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of warrants end up coming out of there, so
I couldn't take it anymore. There, yeah. You know what Berrien County did to me and my kid. Like, dude, I'm getting the fuck out of here. And I usually don't go back.
Your brother hauls campers.
Yup.
Okay, 376 up off of, right off 681. Came down and straightened out that curve on that ice, right?
Yes.
And hit that, okay,
that's
where I know you from. Okay.
I knew you looked familiar.
Okay. Yeah, man, that's, yeah.
Yeah, we actually sat there and bullshitted for a while.
Yeah, sorry.
Hey, man.
I just, you got to look at it from my point too. Is
I do get it.
Multiple turns and trying to get out of here, and it's that time of year where everything's getting busted into right before all the seasonal stuff gets up here.
Yeah, like I said, this is my dad's property. That's why I came over here, because I kind of figured you were going to stop me anyway. So I'm like, well, shit, I want to be off the road.
I got you, man. You. Well, you're not using. There's no product in the car.
Oh hell,
you're
no.
not in that game.
Yeah, because I do the same thing. I haul campers for a living, so.
Because I saw where I was sitting, I could see you pop off that, what's that road? It's on the Berrien side.
48th.
It tees up into 48 there.
Yeah.
It comes out of Berrien.
Yeah.
Because that comes from that campground, and we get a lot of narcotics that traffic that road.
So gotcha.
That's kind of what caught my attention. I saw you come up and make the turn, and I'm like, last time we got a couple ounces out of a girl that made that same route. So
yeah, I drive commercially, so yeah, I don't do shit.
I don't play a game.
And I had bariatric surgery a year and a half ago, so it would really screw me up if I did anything like that.
No. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people that.
Oh yeah, they're dumbasses.
I dealt with a guy today that's diabetic and he's shooting fentanyl. So yeah, I mean you're good.
That's just ignorant,
man. I'm not even.
Oh hell, I don't mind sitting here talking to you.
Yeah. I just lights and stuff. I don't want you to think you can't go. So
yeah,
I just man, you just got that face, and I was like, I know this guy. I don't know this guy, so.
Yeah, because you remember when you first showed up, you asked me how it was going. I'm like, it'd be fine if that fucking bitch would have shut her mouth.
Dude, that place. And I've been here 7 years, almost 7 years.
Yeah,
that's the first crash I've ever taken there, and I cannot believe that. The way that comes down in that steep curve and everything.
Yeah,
I can't believe it.
Yeah,
it's like there's a couple other spots in this county that I would expect to take crashes every time it snows. Never in my life. Never been there once. So.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
yeah, that was stupid of him that night. There's no doubt about that shit. You know, and it actually did more damage than I thought it did. It busted the rack system. I finally just got all the parts.
Is that Explorer that
yeah.
was driving? Okay.
Yep.
Did you show up in the dually?
My other brother showed up, the one that pulled it out. Yeah.
I can't believe you guys got that out. I didn't think it was coming out.
Yeah, I had my truck there, my plow truck, but the transmission screwed up in it too, and I'm like, well, I don't want to start pulling on it and take my transmission out.
I got you.
That's why I called him and had him show up.
Gotcha. What do you guys haul? Do you just haul campers?
Well, we do campers, and what this is, I guess you can say it's kind of like a hot shot. We use this car, and we do motorhomes, bread trucks, FedEx, UPS.
Okay.
And that's what that is. That's a tow bar on the front of it.
Okay, so then you just drag this behind, so when you drop, you've got
we drag and we drop and we come back. It's funny, the last video that I did was over in South Haven. I recorded a traffic stop there at Myers, and the guy, I don't know what the fuck he was thinking, but he decided, he went down, turnaround and came back, and I knew he was going to try to get behind me, so I spun around. So he got behind me again. I asked him out, I got out. And he goes, do you need any help? I was like, if I needed help, I'd ask you. He did it so he can run my tag. And I'm like, how does it feel? I'm like, you didn't get my ID. Because I know what you were trying to do, dude. But yeah.
Honestly, the first thing I'll be honest with you, when I was shocked is when I ran the plate.
Yeah.
And it came back valid. Because, you know, with all of the vehicles up here, especially stuff that's out of state.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of times it's expired or it's improper. And when it came back to a Saturn, and I'll give it to Arkansas, if you had this plated in Michigan, it would only come back as a Saturn. Arkansas had it as a Saturn, the submodel, the color. I mean,
Oh wow.
Damn.
their Secretary of State is above ours. I'll give them that. They actually give a lot, but
Our Secretary of State's quite a joke, so.
I can't remember what state it was. I've seen it a couple times, but when you register the car, you give them some information about like next to kin or emergency contact. So if you were ever in a serious accident and like you were from out of the area, we don't know you, we have a contact point to even if it's out of state, somebody to go make contact.
Yeah. You got a way to get a hold of somebody.
How is that not a standard practice? You know what I mean?
You would think it would be.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always wrecks and shit. People are dying, and they're like, okay, how the hell do we get a hold of anybody?
Even if we find the car and it's, you know, upside down, and we're like, we can call them and go, who drives this car? You know, is it somebody that could have been, you know, in a crash and wandered? Because we've had a couple of OWI crashes where they've been drunk and they've crashed, and then they try to walk to get help and end up with a head injury and pass out, and they're a mile down the road, but nobody's looking.
Yeah.
Or you know, they're scared. They run and hide in the bushes, and then I actually run a couple canine tracks where we found them. They've been incapacitated in the bushes, and it's just, if we could have somebody to contact, it'd be a great idea. But
Hell yeah.
it is what it is, man.
Yeah, like my vehicles, I try to make sure every light's working. I mean, I try to make sure my vehicles are
I appreciate. Well,
top
that's
shape.
The CDL side for you.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I know some guys that drive commercially, and a pre-trip is not always a thing.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, it started, must be oil in it. Let's go.
Yeah, you can ask her. I'm constantly, if the vehicles need something, it don't matter what it is, I get on it right then.
Yeah.
And what was funny, what I was telling you about South Haven, is I put that video on YouTube, and somebody called my car a piece of shit. Like, okay, my car might be a piece of shit. It might not be in my dad's name, but I fucking own my car.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a ragged-ass little Saturn. But for what I do with it, why would you go out and spend $30,000 on a real nice car to drag behind a motorhome and get the shit beat out of it? So to the guy who said that, fuck you.
How many miles you got on this?
This one has...
Well, I've always wondered, does it clock miles?
186.
when you're dragging it?
As long as... Because usually I put a shut-off switch so I can disconnect the battery.
Okay.
But I haven't done that yet because we haven't been using this car very long.
It would clock, wouldn't it? With the wheels rolling, or only on?
If the key was on, it would do it.
Okay.
So I disconnect the battery. And then when we get there, I'd throw it back on. And
Fair enough.
like I said, it's a little piece of shit.
Is it burning oil, or is it pretty?
Oh man, this thing goes through like a quart every 300 miles. The typical Saturn.
Yeah, tell me about it. It's like the Equinoxes. They're burning. You get that the early Model 2.4s before they fix the O-ring or the oil ring problem.
Yeah.
They just every 500 to 1,000 miles burning a quart. Once you hit 96,000 miles or above.
Well, like the ones with the V6 in it, the 3.5.
Yeah.
That was the worst fucking motor GM ever put out.
North Star V8. In a Cadillac.
Yeah. They're pretty close to one another. So you last time you were working night shift, so you're just like on nights all the time?
Yeah, I would permanently. You couldn't pay me to work day shift.
Yeah.
The Facebook drama complaints and the civil standbys because of the breakup, and I'm gonna go get my stuff from my boyfriends, and it's and plus all the traffic.
My thing is,
in the winter during the day, the 50-car pileups are mostly during day shift.
Yeah.
So I don't have it. I mean, I might get a couple semis jackknifed into the cables, but it's easy enough to handle. It's time consuming.
Exactly. My thing is, like you said that about like people on Facebook and the breakups. Why do you need to call another full-grown fucking adult to handle your problems as a full-grown adult? Put your pants on and deal with shit.
Yeah. But if it wasn't for stuff like that, it'd be. I mean, that's most of what we do is a lot of civil stuff, a lot of standby stuff. It's not Hollywood. It's not the run and gun and
Yeah.
chasing bad guys every day. And
It's more kind of laid back and shit at nighttime.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, a lot of open doors, a lot of, just random stuff you'll find. Lawn boys up in Bangor.
Yeah.
Went by last night, and their bay overhead door at 3 a.m. is wide open. So we pulled in, nobody in the shop, but the doors from the shop into the business were open. The keys were in the cash register. I'm like, nobody locked when they left? Nothing. I mean, so it's stuff like that constantly out moving, looking, trying to, and it's a lot of stuff like that. Or I'll find an open door at the school or at a credit union or a bank, or it's like, the amount of open doors you can find if you just walk down Main Street and shake the doors are crazy. That probably shouldn't be on YouTube. I'm telling people, easy way to break in.
Oh, shit, yeah. Well, I will edit certain parts out. This ain't going to go on as a bad interaction. I'm going to put it on there. Because I think I told you that one night, when all that shit happened. I always record, and it's not the fact that I'm...
Do you run a dash cam on when you're hauling?
I've bought a couple of them. They work for like a couple weeks, and they quit.
Because I just see the stuff on TikTok and stuff and
Yeah.
Facebook, and the amount of CDLs that I've seen saved probably from being able to say, I get there to take the crash and it's your word against their word when you're like, no, here's my dash cam.
Yeah.
They cut me off at zero interval. The amount of guys that'll just whip in front of a semi.
Oh, yeah.
Like they're hauling coils of steel and steel trains, pushing minimum 80,000 probably if they're not getting caught running at night. And you're going to cut in front of them with zero or get road ragey with a semi.
I have people do that to me all the time. I mean...
I saw one guy, he had it was an app on his phone that he'd turn on, and he'd had his phone like a wireless charger mounted to the windshield, and it would record, but when it recorded, it was like it Bluetoothed it to a cloud somewhere. I was like, man, that seems like it would really get
Yeah,
your phone
this is
charging all the time.
This is what the hell phone do I have? The S22
Oh, is that the new one?
Ultra Plus piece of shit.
I was going to jump back to Samsung, but Apple.
I'll tell you what, don't do it. I regret this. I just switched to AT&T back in December from
How's the
Verizon.
signal out here with AT&T? Because Verizon's terrible.
Verizon sucks. Verizon sucks.
It's better than Verizon.
It's better than Verizon. I'll give them that. It actually works at my house. Right down the road there.
Okay.
And with Verizon, at my house, it would just not work.
Yeah.
Like, at all. This, I can go out in my barn.
It's like if you come down 66th, right about here-ish or Lake Ave, you'll drop all the way down around the lake until you get down about 48th Ave.
Yeah, down there by Rush. Yeah.
Yep. So, but the weird thing is, all our Wi-Fi and stuff in our cars is all Verizon, and I'll have signal the entire time driving around the county where my cell phone doesn't have signal. So I'm like, is it a different tower or what? But
yeah, that's messed up shit.
I had I got some of the backstory on the Verizon stuff, and from what I've been told, it's Verizon when they were super big is because they contracted like T-Mobile and AT&T and everybody to bounce off their towers.
Yeah.
So they never put any money in their infrastructure. Then when 3G disintegrated, they only had the towers that they had left.
Yeah.
And they had to update them so there's less towers. That's why it used to be great because they had contracts, and now it's not. But I don't know if it's true or not, but that's what I've been
From what AT&T's told me is they're constantly putting up towers, they're making improvements. And like you said, Verizon, they're not doing anything.
Yeah,
they suck.
threw the incentive at me and gave me, I think, $850 on my trade-in for my phone. So I basically got a brand new iPhone 14 for an even trade-in, and I'm like, I was going to switch carriers, but my earpiece speaker went out, and I'm like, I'm trying to do everything off speaker or Bluetooth. It just got too old. I'm like, I'm just upgrading now.
Yeah.
But we're probably
that's
move, so maybe we'll get some better signals in the future.
Of course, being a driver,
Oh, you got the...
gotta have that Bluetooth.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
The new Bluetooth and the new Explorers, they all have Bluetooth, but
Yeah.
it's so bad. It's so echoey, and like between gun rack and the computer mount rattling, and then you've got the wind rush from over and under the light bar.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't know what it is with this car. My old car never did it, but this light bar, it sounds like you're in the exit of the car wash all the time inside. Like it's just wind rushing from somewhere. So I don't know if a grommet's loose or missing, but
Yeah, it's kind of messed up.
I've seen it before where the light bars kind of, the feet work their way in, so then they have a little wiggle.
Yeah.
This thing's solid tight, so I don't know what it is, but it's got 120 on it, so it's about ready to get swapped out. So I'm not putting work into it.
Hell yeah.
So, well, man, I appreciate you talking to me.
That was that covert behind you?
It was. They were. So where I was sitting, they were sitting up
Yeah,
the road.
I seen them sitting up the
couldn't
road.
figure out why every car coming at me was doing 55 from behind. I'm like, it's M140. Usually you get at least 1 or 2 100s.
Yeah.
And coming from that area, a lot of times they'll run. So I'm like, oh, maybe we can have some fun and clicking. I'm like, everybody's coming south doing a double nickel. Why? And then as soon as I turn around, I'm like, that's why.
Yep.
That's why they're doing it.
Yeah, I seen you, and then I seen them. And then I seen them following you. That's why I looked backward. I'm like, hey, weren't they just here?
No, they dropped off somewhere around like
Oh, okay.
72nd.
I'll tell you, I'm going to get out of the car. This is hurting my neck.
No, you're good, man. You can bounce. I gotta.
Oh, shit, I'm on staying here talking to you. You ain't got nothing to do?
Are these just for the?
Yeah, that's so.
I've seen it before where taillights will go out and then people hook these.
That's just for when we're towing, because used to we'd put the what the hell are they called, resistors?
Yeah.
So we can run the wiring right into the taillights.
Into it.
This is just a temporary car. So I had an HHR, and we were using it, had the real tow bar on it.
Yeah,
I mean, this is some hillbilly shit that I can figure together.
It works.
Oh yeah.
I give you credit. It works.
This tow bar has been on 4 different cars now. And that used to be just a regular Reese hitch.
Yeah,
And some shit that I found around the house.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
You can burn it together and it holds. It works.
It's ugly. The car's ragged as hell, but it gets the
But
job
for the
done.
purpose it serves. I mean,
I paid $400 for this car.
I know some guys that they'll drive out and then they'll get a rental, or their company will pay for them to get a rental and drive back, like they do like new fire trucks and stuff.
Yep.
And they'll put them in a rental or fly them. And I'm like, if you guys would just buy a company car and set it up, you'd be miles ahead. But
We've had to do rentals a couple times. Yeah, my HHR, we were out in Utah, and the motor went to knocking. Before I could get it off the highway, I got into a Flying J. It was smoking so bad, you couldn't see the building, the parking lot, the road, but I shut it off. On the way back, they blew the right rear tire, and it just massacred the right side of my car. I mean, it just tore that thing to pieces. So the insurance totaled it out.
Yeah.
So now I'm just waiting for the title to come in the mail so I can get the hell out of my yard.
Yeah. Scrap it out.
Well, they're going to take it because I had more on it than what it was worth.
Okay.
So they're just going to take
So I
it.
gotta come get it.
Mind if I check out the inside of your car?
No, check it out. It's not pretty. I think this is one of the first years they got the new body.
Oh,
so,
gotcha.
Like, everything test fit in it doesn't really, fit.
Oh, your interior light don't come on?
No, so those are all killed out when they set it to night mode. But what I don't like is, so I've got this red light, right? Well, all the old cars, that's loud. We used to have like a little puck light that would mount up here and would do red and white, so you get a straight down shot.
Yeah, like the LTDs
now I've
used to
got
have.
this. And then you've got these two, which with everything here doesn't really light up the back. But the biggest problem is, one of the problems in this car that I have is, so a lot of the new cars, when you dim the dash lights, it responds to here.
Oh, it dims up there
This
too?
This doesn't dim. This is full brightness all the time. So half the night,
gotcha.
I'm riding around with like a hat or something shoved up there, so it's not killing my night vision. Oh, I should get off your wife. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's a cool setup. The only thing is, like, a lot of times to print, I've got to swing my computer all the way out of the way and then pop up my center console to get to my printer.
Hell yeah.
To change the paper, and that's a fight in and of itself. But I mean, they've got some good ideas, but it's just.
Well, with
it was the
everything they
first
have in
setup, so
here.
it's like everything now has been. This didn't work this way, so then we remount stuff a little different on the next set. But yeah, I'm at 106,000.
Shit.
But the biggest thing that I love about this car is the new body style, the gas doors on the driver's side.
Oh, this one's over there?
No, all the old body styles were always on the passenger side, like every other SUV. But the problem is that this is the first new car I've been in, so 3-4 times a night, I'll pull up to the gas pump, walk around the other side, pull the nozzle, look at a blank side of a car, and think,
shit.
It's only been 3 weeks I've been in this new body style. I gotta. And it's like, I'll get gas later. Like, I don't want to be like everybody's looking. I'm like, nope, I'm leaving. But
do you guys have a certain place where you always get your gas, or is it just they give you a card and you
it
get it wherever?
Like, I think with the fleet cards that we have, it's encouraged to go to Speedway, because I think it's through Speedway / 7-Eleven.
Gotcha.
But I mean, one of the departments I used to work for, it was all Pacific Pride.
Yep.
So we do pack Pride a lot, but the pack Pride cards will only work at a pack Pride, which is the problem. So if you have one in your area, that's great. But if you have to run out of county to go do a warrant pickup or take the car to training, you have to find a Pacific Pride. It will not work anywhere else. Like our fuel cards, they're basically a WEX fuel card. They'll work anywhere, but I think we get a price break on the price at 7-Eleven or Speedway because that's like the sponsor through the card or however it works.
Gotcha.
But yeah, you get an incentive bonus on using it there, but they'll work anywhere. With my first department, I had the Pacific Pride app, and there'd be times where it's like there isn't one for 3 counties. So you'd have like you'd be down a quarter of a tank is all. And like there's one on the highway, we better fill up because I don't know when we're gonna see another one.
Yeah.
But then there were times where it's like pay out of pocket, get a receipt, and get reimbursed because you're on E and there is nothing, or they're not on the highway. I mean, most of them are near a highway, but you get up like Gladwin area, you know, they're in town around for some of the log trucks, but it's hit or miss.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean.
Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna put this on there, but this is gonna be a good video. See, like I try to tell everybody, I don't go out and I try to.
Oh no, yeah, you're not
get bad interactions. Like I don't know if
bait and everything.
Which I don't have no problem with these guys, but you got there's one called Frickin' Media and Michigan Constitutional Crusader.
Are they the ones that are always at the courthouses?
They're always, yes, they're doing what we're, our rights allow us. They can go out and do what they want, but to me, I take a little different approach.
See, we've had those guys come to the courthouse.
I've been there a couple times, and I've not in the courthouse.
Your demeanor versus their demeanor is a very different interaction.
Yeah.
Which
I mean, they can. We're all adults. We can do whatever the hell we want to do. But I mean, they got their way of doing things. I got my way.
I've seen, and they're all over the country, and not just anybody specific, but some of them. I don't want to say push the envelope, but they're like trying to push their way past people. It's like,
yeah,
I understand what you're doing. I'm all for it, but you're also making a bad name for the other people, and it's,
yeah,
like,
because I will go to police stations and stuff like that, and I'll go in there just to see if they respect my rights.
Yeah.
Now Hartford, on the other hand, I mean, I don't know if you like the dude or not, but Princess, he's a fucking fat piece of shit. I can't stand that dude. First time me and him met, he got butthurt because I flipped him off.
Well, then.
Oh man, if you gotta go, that's cool.
No, I just need something around. I'm clear. You need me somewhere?
Say that I'm in the cars with Kalamazoo tonight.
Affirm, they're currently in Kalamazoo.
Okay, sir. I can break from my stuff and go transport it out.
Clear. It's going to be at 43910 30th Street, lot 18. Caller states her 16-year-old daughter ran away. That is her grandmother's house, and she will be waiting in a black Ford.
It's all the way over in Paul.
Oh, shit.
I think they're close for people.
There you go.
Sarge's at the office, so.
But yeah, like I said, me and that dude, we met in Water Elite.
Oh.
You know who he is, don't you?
Yep.
Oh, I can't stand that guy. Like, I've tried to be nice to him, but he just, the arrogance that the man has is just unbelievable. I mean, I was at Shell one day, and there was these two people, they were arguing, and the dude slammed his car door, and Prince gets out, he's like, "Don't you slam that door again, or I'll put handcuffs on you." And I'm like, shut your fat ass up. Like, dude, you can't tell that dude not to slam his door. It's his car. If he wants to punch a window out, he has every right to do it. Fucking idiot. But for the most part, I mean, like I said, those two, they got their way of doing things. Do you actually ever watch any of the videos or anything like that?
Just when they pop up, like on timeline or anything like that. But
yeah. You know what's funny? The card you gave us that night, I just threw that away like a week ago.
Man, it's just, it's bad, but like, it's just faces. I'm great with faces, but sometimes the names I'll call you back, Phil. Right. It's like, but sometimes the names, it's like, I can remember, like, I'll be walking through the mire or whatever, and I'm like, I know that guy.
Uh-huh.
Why do I know that guy? But...
Which is kind of a surprise. I mean, you guys deal with a lot of freaking people.
I do.
And that was, what, like a year and a half ago when that happened?
Yeah, it's probably
so, I'm surprised you remember
I
that.
just remember faces. Sometimes the names, like, it comes to me, but...
Yeah.
Back in the day, I used to be really great with names and birthdays together.
Yeah.
And faces, and then it just was when I was working a smaller area, and now it's like with all of the people, it's like it's so hard to keep track of names, birthdays, and faces and remember everybody.
Yeah.
When you're working a 3 square mile area and it's 2,500 people, it's easy to remember everything all the time. But especially when you are constantly arresting them for meth and everything else, you're typing it in repetitively too.
Yeah. Yeah, especially with the damn repeat offenders and shit. Yeah. And that's the one thing about it. I've never been arrested. I haven't been in jail. I have no kind of record on me.
And that's the thing I've had before is, I've had people, like when COVID was big, everybody's got a mask on. So a lot of people were like, oh, I don't have my driver's license, give me a name. They give you a name, but then they're wearing a mask.
Yeah.
And so they don't want to pull their mask down, which I'm like, well, you're abusing the system. You're totally abusing it. And I get there and be like, I know you, and that's not your name. I don't remember what your name is. I know that's not you.
Hell
and
yeah.
We've been there, and it's like... Alright, sir. Absolutely. Somebody should me around. Apparently I'm going to Keeler for something.
Oh, boy.
And, these new programs. Automatic timeout is the biggest. I literally just clicked on it 2 minutes ago.
Couple I could tell you if you got time to check out. Check out Direct D and San Joaquin Valley Transparency. Those two guys are real good.
Okay, out in Cali?
San Joaquin is in California and Direct D is in Arizona.
Okay.
I mean, he's got a little different approach than I do too, but everybody has their own style of doing things.
I totally get it, man. It's like, even just, in routine traffic stops, and I hate to use that word because nothing is routine about a traffic stop.
Yeah.
But, there's some people that are, very official off the bat and very rigorous, and I'm like, you know what? You're a person, I'm a person. I'm going to be as cool with you as you want to be with me. And,
yeah.
Like, it is what it is. What did they send me to? Drive a B&E? No.
Oh, great.
Vehicle broken into tonight. It was unlocked in the driveway. So... and his gun was stolen out of it.
Oh, that's always a good thing.
Leave my gun in my car with it unlocked in my driveway.
Yeah, brilliance. What the hell? What was your name again?
Deputy Rouse.
Rouse. All right, man.
Take it easy, bud. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
All right, well.
I gotta figure there's no good way down to Keeler. Other than the long way. And the tracks in Hartford to beat you up.
Yeah, right there by the school.
The ones by the school are terrible.
Oh, man. I hate driving. I got an F650 that it's a haul and tow, so I put one on the back and I pull one behind it. I pretty much come to a stop every time I get those tracks. If I don't, it will rattle my teeth. I mean... I'm
convinced that's what threw the alignment off of my new truck.
Oh, shit.
I can't think of anything else.
But yeah, if you see this car, it's me, my dad, or my brother, or the girlfriend.
Yeah, I know about it.
And I got a black Stratus.
Okay.
The left turn signal ain't working right now. I don't know why, but I'm going to get that shit fixed.
It's a Dodge. It's probably got wiring issues.
It does. It does. Shit's always messing up on that car.
It continuously, if it's got, tires, you're going to have problems.
Pretty much. So, all right, man. You have a good night.
I appreciate it, man.
Be safe. I'm going to check the mail and I'm out of here.
All right. Is there anything on this property? Does anybody stay here or anything?
No, not right now.
Okay. So if there's ever anybody here at night, it's not you guys.
Yeah, there shouldn't be anybody here. And I haven't called the cops or nothing, but I got a box in there that came off of a straight truck.
Okay.
So much of my shit's been stolen out of there because we're not over here very often.
There's a house, 44th, an old trailer that they broke in a couple times. The lady passed away. There's nothing in it. And it was nasty when she lived in it. Like,
yeah.
There was used adult diapers scattered around, but they're breaking in, so they're in this area. So if I see anything parked around here, I'm usually Bangor.
Yeah, like I said,
Junction.
this
see
is
anybody
my
parked
property too, so yeah, at nighttime there's not supposed to be anybody here, definitely. I mean,
if I see lights or anything or anybody, I'll check it out for you, man.
all right.
And then, does it come back registered to you on the parcel?
My dad.
Your dad.
So,
Okay. Well, if I'll remember it. So if anything
All right.
ever pops up, we'll at least I know where to get a hold of you if we need something. So
cool.
Thank
Like
you.
I said, this is going to go on there as a positive video instead of a negative all the fucking time.
yeah, I'm glad I can make a little bit of a difference, man.
Exactly. All right, brothers, be safe. Well, that started out as a bad interaction. Then it completely did a flip around. So, I believe today is April 29th. I'm walking back to my car. Hey, what time is it?
11:57.
April 29th, it is 11:57 p.m. So that would be the end of it. But, like I said, at least for once it was a positive interaction. And he did not get my ID. So, he's one of the more decent ones. It was kind of a bullshit reason he stopped me, but hey, whatever. But, alrighty then, I'm out.